think you slid into my DMs on I think it was LinkedIn or something. Really good chin wagging.
I always watched Dad buy and sell commercial property. It's all about numbers.
It's amazing how like our parents like sort of influence us.
Commercial leases are tricky, right?
Have you done it on the market?
I am actually doing one right now.
Oh, really? Terms that have killed the deal: lease risk, tenant risk, capex risk, asset type.
Relationship channels. There's a level of trust there, right? Because you've known these people for so long. Discretion and privacy.
So they're not just going to give it to any Tom, Dick and Harry.
Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. They'll also test you in the beginning, see if you perform.
So welcome to the Commercial Property Investing Podcast, Bill Phaturos, or as I like to call you, Mr. Phaturos. Thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me on, Mr. Huckster.
So Bill is the director and principal of William & Co. Real Estate. On this episode today, we're going to be talking about off markets.
Yep.
It often gets romanticized a bit.
Yep.
It can be a double-edged sword, so we'll get into that. But Bill, you live in real campaigns. You see it day in and day out. It's something that you actually specialize in, and you and I have both done multiple off-market transactions, and we've shared some successes together, especially last year. So, man, I really appreciate everything that we've done together.
And me too.
And I appreciate you being on here. So,
thanks for the invite.
You're welcome, my man. So, Bill, just for the listeners, who is Bill Phaturos? How did he get into real estate, and why commercial?
Okay, so I grew up in hospitality. I grew up in a small town called Goulburn. Well, not too small town, a couple of hours away. My dad had a restaurant, so I grew up in hospitality, like I said. I always watched Dad buy and sell commercial property, right? And they would always try to buy as many commercial shops as they could. So I was always part of those discussions and everything like that. And then when I decided that I didn't want to do hospitality anymore, I always loved property, right? And I wanted to turn it into my full-time gig after hospitality. So then I went and got my license, and I started dabbling in the commercial property space. I was doing it part-time while I was working at my full-time job. And on my days off, I would just go and have meetings with whoever would take a meeting with me, developers, investors, whoever it was. And then I just decided that was me. I really liked the commercial space because commercial property is all about numbers. I found that there wasn't too emotional with commercial property.
No.
And the people that you talk with, they're commercial, right? Like, is it a good building? Are they a good tenant? Do they pay their rent? How long have they been there for? All that kind of stuff. Yeah, sweet. I just find it's an easy transaction. I haven't really dealt with residential, but
It's just not your flavor.
no,
it's not my flavor either.
It's not my thing.
It's too emotional.
Yeah, yeah. And you find people, I don't like the color of that wall, or I don't like that. Well,
Yeah,
it doesn't
you're
really
dealing with
matter.
emotions
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You just change the wall, change the color.
Where this is, I just find, when I have an opportunity, Chris, I've got this. It's over there. It's that big. The rental's this. What do you think? And you're like, yep, sounds good. Let's do it. It's an easy. There's ease of transaction there.
That's right.
Because
Because it is numbers based. You're correct. You're getting a certain level of return for a certain level of risk.
And you're talking to a different type of investor, right?
We're talking business now. It's amazing that your dad influenced you, like from a business acumen perspective, and he's really driven that. It's amazing how like our parents like sort of influence us, right?
100%.
Watching
100%.
them go through business, taking risks, and it's exactly what you did, right? So you took a leap out of hospitality, took a risk, went on your own, created your own business, and now you're flourishing, mate. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
And I couldn't agree more. Commercial is definitely one of those unique pieces of asset classes that can be complex, but can make a lot of money as well, right?
100%.
And so with commercial property, there's a few ways we can transact. So auctions, off markets, on markets. But Bill, just for the listeners, when we say off market, what do you think that is? What is that in practice?
So for me, if I had to define off market, it's a property that's being sold through relationship channels rather than being put online marketing campaigns all over Facebook, realestate.com, Instagram. None of those platforms are being used when a vendor wants me to sell a property off market.
How does a vendor come to you and approach you to do an off-market campaign and trust you with their multiple $1 million assets?
Well, this is why I've gotten traction, Chris, because when I went out on my own, I went back to the relationships that I've had, personal relationships for the last 20 years. So then there's a level of trust there, right? Because you've known these people for so long. They're like, oh, Bill, great. Now that you're in this space, sell this property for me. And I want it done off the radar, off market. So these guys want discretion and privacy.
That's right. The big players always want discretion and privacy.
Correct.
And it's taken you years to develop all these relationships. They're not just going to give it to any Tom, Dick, and Harry.
No.
They trust you because they've known you for 2 decades.
Yeah, I've known a lot of these guys for 20 years, but also in the interim before I went out on my own, when I was at my full-time job, I was working at my father-in-law's seafood business in Bondi. So on my days off from there, I would go and have meetings with whoever would take a meeting with me because I needed to grow a network. I wanted to grow a network of people around me, and relationships are built over time, right?
You can't fake them, can you?
No.
Not the long-term ones anyway.
No, not the long-term ones. So these guys that I know, they trust me because I've known them for a long time. And they said, Bill, can you sell this off market? And I said, yes, I can. So then, as you know,
Chris
sold the first one. And then he's like, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one, right? They'll also test you in the beginning to see if you perform. If you perform, and then they're like, okay, they just open the book.
Gotcha. So what has to be true for off markets to work for the seller? So what I mean is, so they come to you for an off market, but you have that connection with the vendor.
Mm-hmm.
How did you build connections with buyers or buyers agents to be able to sell that off market?
Okay, so I'll use our example, right? So when I went out into this space, I was getting a lot of opportunities for off-market sales. But obviously I didn't have all those buyers for all these products that I was getting given to me. So I'm like, how do I stay in this space? So I got on and I started Googling commercial buyers agents. All right. And you're obviously one of the first ones that came up. But I made sure that when I reached out to a commercial buyers agency, I reached out with an opportunity in hand. Not, hey guys, I'm Bill, I'm in this space. What are your clients looking for? It was, Chris, got this medical center. Are you interested? Yes, I am. And then I used that to forge relationships with commercial buyers agency, because if I was getting the stock and you guys have the qualified buyers, it makes sense to put them together.
100%.
So that's what I did.
100%. So you're ticking off a few boxes there. You're ticking off the privacy, discretion with your vendors, because they don't want people knowing that they're selling or offloading assets. And then you're doing the grunt work and hustling, finding buyers and doing the legwork. And I think you slid into my DMs on I think it was LinkedIn or something. And it was like, hey mate, got this Ripper medical asset. I'm like, oh, okay. I proceed with caution. Took a look at the medical asset, and it actually blew my mind after lifting. You see your BMW, but you don't know what's under the hood. You look under the hood, you're like, wow, actually this all checks out.
Yeah, exactly.
7-year whale, 7-year lease, government tenancy inside, multi-tenancy medical. Just immaculate asset on the inside. I think it was 780 square meters, 400K fit out.
Yep.
My buyer is still stoked. Like, she's absolutely stoked, mate.
One in that price bracket, she probably got one of the best assets that she could get, right?
Even the positioning right in the middle of Goulburn.
Correct.
Oh.
On the main street, dual street access, and the demographics that helped with the due diligence process that you guys, because the demographics in Goulburn, like you said, there is an aging population, but there's also a larger population of people that need medical services.
That's right.
Right? So these medical centers, that one's been there already for 20 years. It's not going anywhere. So these are the attributes that we look at, right? But that's what I did. Every time I would get an opportunity, I would pick up the phone, or I would spend a day and just say, okay, who's in the commercial buyers agency space?
It's as simple as that.
And that was as simple as that. So I had to find buyers. In the off-market space. These guys want things sold off-market discreetly. And I wasn't going to say no.
No, definitely not.
So I was like, yeah, of course I can do it. So then as soon as I had that, I would ring. And that's why I got on the phone, and That's why we're here today.
No, Goulburn's one of them places where the demographic definitely lines up. Aging population, like you said, medical practices there are in short supply, and obviously long-term leases in place.
Loving the show and keen to invest? Well, book your free discovery call and we'll actually walk you through how to build a high-growth portfolio without all the guesswork. Just jump onto the link in the show notes or visit investorkit.com.au to book your discovery call. And now let's get back into the show.
It's a wealthy regional location. It's only a couple hours from Sydney. It's only a stone throw away. When we say regional, it's obviously it's not in the middle of anywhere. It's got 25,000 people.
It's actually got 34,000 people. Just so if anybody from Goulburn's listening to be you're wrong.
Understated by 50%, but that's okay. 34,000 people, so a growing population as well, nonetheless. And just some killer real estate over there. So now just going back to the transaction itself and how you deal with buyers. What do serious buyers do in week one that changes how you treat them or consider them as a serious buyer or not?
I suppose it's just the questions that they ask.
Right.
You know, if I present an opportunity and they come back quite quickly with questions that I think are legitimate, then then these guys look legitimate. They look like the real deal. You know, we just keep going with them.
Right. So when a buyer comes to you and they don't ask you as many questions, like maybe they'll just ask you a couple of things. What's the size? You know, who's the tenant? Can I have the lease? And they kind of just stop there. Whereas us, we're sort of asking you for a long list of items.
100%. But with you, I've got peace of mind because you've already vetted your buyers.
That's right.
You've already qualified your buyers.
We're retained by them.
Exactly. So they've paid you guys to find them something.
That's right.
You know, it makes the process so much more efficient and so much easier.
That's right.
Because you know yourself, whoever's been in the world of sales, a percentage of sellers are not, of buyers are not buyers. They're just window shopping. Or they just think that they'd like to buy that in the future, or, you know, they wish that they could buy that, or maybe their situation doesn't allow them to buy that at the moment, but they want to buy it in 6 months' time. And that's fair enough.
Or they could be serious, but they just don't know the right approach. They don't know the questions to ask.
Correct.
They don't know what to look out for. Yeah, so no, that's really good, Bill. So what would be the number one mistake you think? Like what's a mistake that buyers make that that they should be aware of?
They probably try to conduct in the commercial space, try to conduct their own due diligence. Because as we know, commercial leases are tricky, right?
They are.
There's a lot of clauses, tenant reimbursements, all that kind of stuff. I really think that needs to be done by somebody that knows what they're doing, because that could end up costing you money. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. So when you do a transaction with a buyer that doesn't use a buyer's agent, do you find that transaction to be a bit different? Like what differences do you see between us and a buyer that just does it on their own?
Look, the guys that I've dealt with, they're pretty commercial in their own way.
Gotcha.
A lot of the transactions that I've done to date have been through buyer's agents like yourselves. But the couple of guys that I have dealt with outside of that, they're very experienced and savvy investors anyway, right? So they were onto it straight away. With me, it's a little bit different because I'm not marketing the product. I'm not getting inundated with all these inquiries, you know, by people that aren't either in the commercial space or the development space or anything like that. So they've already got an idea of what's going on.
Gotcha.
You know what
So
I mean?
most of the buyers that you're dealing with as well are experienced.
Yeah.
And they handle it in a commercial way, commercially sound
And that's
way.
why I spent, before I went out on my own, like I said before, probably 2.5 years of all my days off every day, just going out and introducing myself to people, building a network, building those relationships. So now when I get a listing, it's either I call you or If you say I don't have somebody for it or whatever it is, then I can call, John and say, John, I've got this. Are you interested? Yep. Sweet. Bang. Send the contracts. Let's get it done.
Have you done it on market? Out of curiosity?
I am actually doing one right now.
Oh, really? Whereabouts?
In Goulburn.
Yeah, okay.
So a mate of mine, when he found out that I was doing this,
Yeah.
he came to me, he goes, why didn't you tell me you were doing this before? I said, I wasn't ready before, mate. Because the family farm, I want to get rid of it.
Right.
So it's a 630-acre farm,
Mm-hmm.
which is subdividable into 8 blocks. And then there's another 400 acres on the other side of town. There used to be cattle farmers, these guys.
Yeah, right. You'd call this a commercial property, wouldn't you? Like an agriculture, on the agricultural side?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he approached me and said, can you help me sell it? I said, look, mate, commercial is what I do every day, commercial properties, right? And subdivision things and sites and all that kind of stuff. So he goes, oh, do you know a few people? So I said, I know a few people, but let's make a phone call.
Yeah.
So then we decided he wanted me to do a co-agency with a real estate agent in town.
Okay.
So I said to him, fine, let's do it. This will be my first one
Awesome.
that I run online.
Yeah. What's the address, mate?
The one is Campbell's Lane, Middle Arm.
Yeah.
So it's about a 10-minute drive out of Goulburn CBD. That's 630 acres.
You're right.
And the other one is 218 Chinaman's Lane,
Yeah.
Kingsdale.
Okay. That's online at the moment. Are you getting many inquiry?
Yeah, we've had heaps of inquiry come through on that. So now we're just going through the motions.
So now you're going to be dealing with buyers that are,
Yeah, so this is the first time that I'm doing something
window
like this.
shopping. Yeah. No, that's awesome, mate.
Pretty much.
So let's get into the deal now, where experienced buyer versus inexperienced buyers. Have you ever experienced someone giving you terms that have killed a deal? Do you know how we always put in a due diligence clause and we put in a finance clause, but are there other weird, wacky terms out there that you've experienced that buyers put in there?
Not really, to be honest with you, Chris. Even when I started selling these things in Goulburn for these guys, back then, there was never due diligence clauses and terms. It was, it was never, due diligence was never done to the depth than what it is today, right? Because you guys really drilled down.
So you're saying that they probably should have put the due diligence clause in there as opposed to not having it in there?
Years ago, it was is it a good building? Are they paying their rent? Are they good tenants? Sweet, here we go. It's not like that now.
Yeah.
But I'm talking a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
So in the beginning, I found it a little bit difficult to get these guys to adopt a 30-day DD clause. Right? But now that we've done 3 or 4 with them, it's normal for them now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just become normal. I haven't had any crazy terms on any deals. The only terms that have come are, things that need to be fixed on a commercial building and then settlement subject to the downpipe being replaced or, patching up the hole in the wall or something like that.
Right.
But they haven't really derailed any deals.
Got you. No, that's really good, Bill. So for cash buyers today, what should they focus on? Should they focus on price, tenant, lease risk, future releasing? If you were buying with cash, what wouldn't you comprise on?
You've got to focus on all those things.
Yeah.
You've got to bring all of them together for a commercial property.
Yeah.
Just because you got cash and you find a nice building with a nice fit out, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go buy that. You can't. You got to see who the tenant is, how long they've been there. Are they good payers? Are they in arrears? What's the building? What's the condition of the building? All these things have to come into play for you to get a good asset, right?
Yeah, no, you've got a good point there. So we have lease risk, tenant risk, CapEx risk.
Yeah.
What else do we have? We have asset type.
Correct.
Very important.
Yeah.
So I remember even when we purchased the medical center that you sold us, we took a deep dive into the directors. How many locations do they have? Have they ever been sued?
Correct. What is their expansion? At that time, they were adding another 4 locations to their portfolio.
Exactly.
So then that just solidifies it, right?
100%. Yeah. And we're also looking into how many bookings they have online because, it's public knowledge. You just go on the the medical center's website. You can see if they're full or not. Exactly. And luckily enough, that one was full. But appreciate you coming on, my man.
No worries,
really
mate.
Good chin wagging, just like the coffee in the cafe.
Yeah, it's nice. Instead of the cameras and the microphones and everything, but it's cool.
No, I appreciate you, man. So off markets and negotiations. So obviously, if you're going to buy on your own, make sure that you're doing your due diligence checks, making sure that you're putting in a due diligence clause and a finance clause and running a thorough investigation. And if you want any off-market properties, please reach out to Bill Phaturos at willco.com.au. Thank you for joining, Will, on the Commercial Property Investing Podcast Australia. Where can people find you?
I actually don't have any online presence. No social media, no Facebook, Instagram, or anything like that.
Just a nomad.
I'm just pure off market. People can contact me with my email at bill@williamco.com.au. And also my mobile number is 0419 630 820.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Bill.
Thank you for having me on.
Cheers.